Fire and Frost is a range of injection waxes created specifically for jewellery casting, offering a good balance of characteristics for the specific applications required by the jewellery industry, with the addition of higher fluidity for the most demanding of components. Aqua Frost has been developed to ensure good flow, low shrinkage and an exceptional surface finish. It is able to reproduce fine detail with the appropriate levels of toughness and rigidity. Recommended temperatures are between 155 and 162 Fahrenheit or 68 to 72 Celsius, with an injection pressure anywhere between 2 and 10 psi. Both the Aqua and Blue Frost waxes have been developed for use with either standard wax pots as seen here, or vacuum-assisted wax injectors. Here the operator has set the injection pressure to 4.5 psi with a temperature of 158 Fahrenheit or 70 Celsius. The toughness engineered into the Fire and Frost waxes allow them to be easily removed. Once released from the rubber mould, the finished component shows exceptional surface finish and the detail of the setting has been reproduced accurately. The very thin sections in this earring have been produced without the need for any changes to the temperature or pressure settings of the injection unit. Whether you're making a one-off component or a production batch, the repeatability of the wax pattern is vital. Here you can see multiples consistently reproduced. Blue Frost has been developed to offer a choice of colour to the operator according to their preference for inspection. In all other aspects it is identical to Aqua Frost. All Fire and Frost waxes have been specifically designed with greater toughness and rigidity to avoid brittle failures seen from time to time with other waxes. Here you can see the technician removing a particularly delicate part from a mould. For this the pressure was increased to 7 psi, which in conjunction with the high fluidity of the wax ensured good flow to the fine detail in the flower's stamens. The strength engineered into the Fire and Frost range is evident as this is successfully removed from the mould. Once you have produced enough parts, it is time to assemble the wax tree. Here the operator is cutting down the sprues to the appropriate length so they fit within the volume of the flask. It is very important to ensure that a smooth sealed connection between the sprue and the tree is achieved. Failure to do this can lead to ingress of investment that can in turn break off during casting, creating defects in the finished parts. A selection of different shapes and sizes are mounted to maximise the number of parts on the tree. As a general rule, if you have a flask of mixed parts, you would add the heavier components to the bottom of the tree and the lighter, more delicate towards the top. Once the tree is complete, it is moved to the investment area where it's placed inside a pre-prepared flask in a vacuum unit. Investment powder is mixed with water, and once the top plate is added, a vacuum is created to ensure no air is trapped in the slurry while it's being mixed. This is very important as any trapped air can manifest itself as plus metal defects on your castings. After a period of between 10 and 13 minutes, the slurry is ready to be poured into the flasks that are still under vacuum. These are then left to fully set. This can take between 2 and 4 hours depending on the size of your flask. They are then placed in an oven to begin the burnout cycle, sintering the investment and removing any residual moisture from the moulds. The burnout cycle is an incremental increase of temperature in the oven over a period of time, which is usually dictated by the type of investment you are using. This is a fully programmable unit that will melt your chosen material, in this case 18 karat gold, and cast it for you under a vacuum. All of the waxes in the Fire and Frost range have been specifically developed to have a short transition from their solid to liquid phase. In the case of Aqua and Blue, this is achieved at 155 Fahrenheit or 68 Celsius. This ensures there is a minimal increase in volume as the wax moves from its solid to liquid state, minimising the chance of the investment cracking during the de-wax cycle. Having completed the cycle, the investment flask is removed from the oven. A gentle tap ensures any loose investment is removed, and it is then placed in the casting chamber. As soon as the unit is sealed, the melt cycle begins. Once the alloy is fully molten at approximately 1800 Fahrenheit or 982 Celsius, the casting is automated. The flask is removed from the unit and then immersed in cold water to dissolve the investment from the casting. This will then be immersed in a solution of water and hydrofluoric acid at temperature for approximately half an hour to remove the oxidization. A final clean in the media blaster ensures all remnants of the investment and pickling solution are removed, producing an even finish. The components are now removed from the finished tree and sorted. Here you can see the flowers at the end of the casting process that began with the wax patterns produced using Fire and Frost wax. Other waxes in the Fire and Frost range have been specifically formulated to help if you have particularly fine details you are struggling to reproduce, or if you need to mass produce parts in large volumes and you require additional toughness to allow for storage over long periods of time.